Alright, hi, this is Rob Graves again. I'm back after playing around with YouTube uploading for a while. Anyway, alright, we're getting back to our Arch install. This is video 2, and if you had followed along with video 1, you should have a base Arch install set up. We're going to boot back into this. And if you remove the installation media, the USB or CD or what have you, you should boot into this fresh install. Sign in with root, enter your password. Alright, now the first thing I like to deal with is make sure that we've got an internet connection. Now if you had done a wired connection like I had in my base install video, should already be ready to roll. So we're going to do ping-c space 3 space www.google.com, and we successfully have an internet connection here. So the wired one was easy, but I'm also going to show how I set up. I haven't done this much on a laptop. I only did a couple installs on a laptop, and it was early in my Arch days, but I mean, I'm still kind of early in my Arch days, but I need to change directory into etc etc network.d, and if you need to, you can make the video bigger so you can see what I'm typing in. I may put commands down below, I'm not sure yet. If anybody needs me to do that, I can add everything I put in. But now I'm in the etc /etc network.d directory, and if I ls in here, I've got some examples. The actual file I'm going to use to connect to the internet for a wireless is going to have to be in this folder, I believe, but for now I'm going to change into my examples folder. Type in ls, and you can see a bunch of different setups here. I'm going to open with nano space wireless dash WPA. Hit enter, and right here you can see we've got connection equals wireless, a description. I personally never use a description, but we got interface, we got WLAN 0 for the first wireless card. If you happen to have more than one, it might be WLAN 1, 2, so on and so forth. But the first one's always going to be 0, and probably that's going to be the one you're using, and I'm assuming on a laptop you probably only have one wireless card. But here's security. We've got WPA. If you've got WEP, you might put WEP in there. And then ESSID is the name of the network, so you put that in there. Key equals, and then right in here it's going to be the password for that connection. IP equals DHCP. There are other options here. For me personally, DHCP always works. You might need to change that as necessary based on your internet connection. And actually, when I had my wireless connection, through my laptop, I actually had to throw another one in here. I had scan equals yes in there as well. But this should, in theory, do it if you had all the correct data in here. You hit Control X, Y, and save. Although it's in the wrong spot, so what we're going to do is copy /etc /network.d /examples /wireless -WPA to, let's see, /network.d / and we're going to call it home. Alright, now if I go back up one directory, cd space ... period, we'll go back up one directory, and if you look in here now, we've got a home. So if I nano space home, okay, there's, you dummy, typed it wrong. Nano home, there. If I spell it correctly, I'll get it. Right here is the file, and this will set up a wireless connection. And from here, then all you should have to do is do net cfg home. And if you installed net cfg like I had in the first video, if you hit enter here, it'll do that. Not really sure. Maybe I might have disabled my wireless card, but hopefully that didn't happen for you. But then let's see, we're gonna go to nano, let's see, etc/rc.conf. And now what you're going to need to do in here is go all the way down to networks. Here it says networks equals main, and it's commented out with a pound or hashtag there. Remove that, and we're going to change the main to home. And later on I end up installing Network Manager to manage this, because with a wireless on a laptop you're probably going to be bouncing around, and you might want to connect to the library or Starbucks or whatever, and I think it's easier to just use Network Manager on a laptop and then do it this way, because then you could in theory be setting up a bunch of different connections here, and that would be kind of a pain. And then down here, if you're using the wireless, you're going to want to either comment this out with an exclamation in front of it or remove it completely. But then you're going to end up going in and you have to put in net-profiles into your daemons array at the end. This is stuff that fires up automatically when you fire up the system. You can save that, Control X, Y, and Enter to do that. I'm going to get rid of this because I'm not doing it that way. And comment that back out. And, whoops. No, I'm not changing anything. Alright, so if you have to, you can do a reboot, but you should have internet connection now, and again, ping space -c space 3, and we'll just do Google, www.google.com to verify that we have an internet, and I do here, and hopefully you do too. If you have any trouble, as always, consult the Arch Wiki. There are other methods, I think, for wireless setup, like WICD. I've never used that myself, so I don't know how to set that up, and again, I probably should read up on it just so I know. But at any rate, we're going to assume that we've got the internet there, and I've even got the swap and everything's all mounted. Alright, so now we're going to start doing an update. We are going to do pacman-syy, and this is going to synchronize with the mirrors all the package database info. So pacman-capital S lowercase y lowercase y. Now after that, to do an upgrade, we do pacman-capital S lowercase y lowercase u. But and the first thing it's going to want us to do is upgrade Pacman itself. I'm actually going to ignore that for now and do install reflector, 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 and curl, curl. So it's pacman-s space reflector space curl. When I do that, it's going to ask if I want to upgrade Pacman. I do not at the moment. I'm just going to skip that for now, hit no. And then it's going to tell me all the packages it needs, and total download size and install size. I'm going to hit Y to install that, download and install that. And as a note here, this reflector method, the command I use here for reflector to get the fastest servers, mirrors for my pacman mirror list. Always works for me on a real install. But lately I've noticed when I'm doing it on a virtual machine, it causes the virtual machine to crash. I'm not sure why, but it always works on a real install. But at any rate, what we're going to need to do here is change directory to /etc/pacman.d. And ls here, you'll see ls, you can see mirror list in there. We're going to back that up. cp space mirror list space mirror list dot backup. Hit enter, and then as you can see, we've got it backed up. And now, command I usually use is reflector -c space %own% -f space 6, and then the arrow right, the greater than symbol, mirror list. Now this usually will take a minute or so, and I mean I've got Time Warner, Roadrunner, Turbo, cable, and internet connection, so I mean it's a pretty decent internet connection, and it still is going to take me a minute or so to do this. I'm actually expecting this to crash the VirtualBox, so I don't know. But if this works on the real install, this always works for me. When it's finished, it will find the fastest mirrors and put them into our mirror list folder. And when it fails, it usually wipes out my mirror list file and has nothing in it, which is another reason to back that up. Alright, and it failed and crashed my VirtualBox there, but fire it back up, hit enter. Alright, we're going to log in, that's root again. Alright, now change back to /etc/pacman.d. And if we look in there, we're going to take a look at mirror list. And it's empty, as I expected. So we're going to copy back mirror list dot backup to mirror list. Now my mirror list actually has all the stuff back in it, which is why I backed it up in the first place. But the other command we're going to try is reflector-l space 6 space --sort space rate space --save space /pacman.d/mirror list. And that looks good. Alright. Alright, now that's done, and we'll take a look at the mirror list there. Actually, if you see in there, it was generated by Reflector there. And it's got 6 servers here, and to be honest, I have no idea what these servers are, but hopefully they work well. Alright, so now we're going to update pacman-s capital S lowercase yy, and this will refresh the package database. When you do this, actually this will force an update of the package database there, and then we're going to do the same thing, pacman-capital S lowercase y lowercase u to do the upgrade. It's going to say, do you want to upgrade Pacman? Yes. And we'll do that. Hit yes again. I believe right here we're going to actually get a fail. I've had this happen every time I've done an Arch install in the last, I don't know, for a little while. But right here, yep, it says /usr/bin/tz select, and then two other files, usr sbin cdump and usr sbin zic exist. So we're going to remove all those, and then this will work. rm space user usr/bin/tz select space /user/sbin/zdump space /user/sbin/zic. Hit enter, and now we'll just hit up arrow twice to get that command again. Run it. Yes, we want to upgrade Pacman. Also note, we don't need to it says total download size 0. We've already downloaded these packages. It's just going to check the package integrity and do it again. Do the upgrade. So, also if you note, it says that it created a couple new files. We've got etc/pacman.conf installed as etc/pacman.conf.pacnew. Then it says to set up the pacman-key, we have to run pacman-key space -- init. We're actually going to hold off on that for a minute, but first we are going to deal with the two pacman.conf files. So we're going to change directory into etc. If you hit ls there, you can actually see we got pacman.conf and pacman.conf.pacnew. We're going to back both of these up actually before I monkey with them, just so I've got something to go back to if I mess it up. And copy cp space pacman.conf. Actually, I'm going to do the absolute path to those. So cp /etc/pacman.conf space etc/pacman.conf.backup for the first one. And then we're going to up arrow and steal part of this command. pacman.conf.pacnew space, so it should say cp etc/pacman.conf.pacnew space /etc/pacman.conf.pacnew.backup. So now we've got both of them backed up, and now to merge these two files, we're going to go move mv space /etc/pacman.conf.pacnew space /etc/pacman.conf. Does that look right? Yep. Alright. Now we are going to go into pacman.conf, nano pacman.conf, and in here we're going to change a couple things. This is totally unnecessary, but I'm just going to do it just for fun. You see the miscellaneous options here, misc options in this file. Hit enter after it, so you got a space there. You can type in I love candy. All the I, the L, and the C capitalized, no spaces. I love candy. We'll throw that in there. You'll see later what that does. Right here's the PGP signature checking, the new pacman-key stuff. As you can see, pound right here, the sig level equals optional trusted only is commented out, as is sig level equals optional trust all, and sig level never is not commented out. We're going to leave it that way for now. And if you go down to the repos here, you'll notice that they all now have a new line in between their name and the actual include or server list here, which are commented out. So in core, we've got this sig level equals package required, which is commented out. We're going to leave it that way for now. Same with extra, we're going to leave it community, and then down in multi-lib, we actually have to uncomment that again, leaving the center one, the sig level line, commented out. We're going to hit Control X, Y, and enter to save. and then we are going to refresh the pacman list here. Pacman dash capital S lowercase yy. Alright, and now we are going to do our upgrade. Pacman dash capital S lowercase y lowercase u. It's going to ask if you want to replace module init tools with core kmod, hit yes. procps with core, we're going to say yes to all that. At any rate, yes. It's going to do our first real upgrade. This will not have happened if you had done the net install, because we already would have gotten the most up-to-date packages of all these. So we're going to sit here and wait while this does the first update, which also is going to fail incidentally. And this is going to fail because two file systems, it says, will exist in the file system, /etc/mtab. It's not showing up yet, but I already know this from experience. mtab, and also /profile_d/locale.sh. We'll see it fail because of these two files' existence. We're going to remove the locale.sh file and not mtab. I believe mtab has to do with mounting the file system, I think. And I did this once where I deleted the mtab and I had an issue and it didn't work. But I found either via the forums or the wiki or blogs, I don't recall exactly, but a command that will remedy this once we get there. And also, we aren't going to have to re-download all these. It's downloading them and we have them. It's just not going to upgrade them because of this fail. And once we fix it, resolve the issue, it will just upgrade the packages. It's not going to have to re-download these. Latest kernel, the Linux 3.3.6-1, newest Linux kernel for Arch. As of today, anyway, May 20th, 2012. This won't take too long either. It's not as bad as, say, installing GNOME, but it will take a little bit just to get this upgrade, depending on your internet speed too. And actually, if you got some bad mirrors, I've seen it do this really slow, which is one of the reasons I like to get the fastest mirrors before doing any of these upgrades, just so I can make this as expeditious as possible. It's checking the integrity and loading the package files, and I already know this is going to fail because of mtab and locale.sh. And boom, here we go. We can see etc mtab exists in file system and etc profile.dlocale.sh exists in file system. So we're going to remove the locale one, rm/profile.d/locale.sh. Yep, hit enter. And we could try to run that again, and it's going to fail because of mtab. But what we're going to need to do here is pacman-s file system dash dash force. And you want to use that force flag sparingly, but in this case I guess it's the generally accepted way to deal with this current issue. I don't know what, but we're going to do it here. So hit yes. It should be very quick. We can go back to run pacman dash capital S lowercase y u and say yes to all this again. All these packages should already be downloaded. I'm just going to hit yes. It's going to check the package integrity and load the package files and do the upgrades. Oh, by the way, as you can see, the I love candy there in the pacman.com, totally unnecessary, but our progress bar before were hashtags, the pound symbol there going across. Now it's a little yellow C, uppercase, lowercase c, like a Pac-Man going across. Just a little eye candy for the terminal. Again, totally unnecessary, but if you want to do it, you can do it. Unnecessary to the functioning of the system. We're getting a new kernel here too as well. Which means we should do a reboot. I'm not going to do it yet, because I'm going to take care of the pacman-key thing once this is done. Alright, we're done with our upgrade. And now the command to set up the pacman-key was pacman-key space dash dash init. Now if you're doing this on a real machine, you can actually hit Control-Alt F2, because we're on TTY1 in the first virtual terminal here. If you hit Control-Alt F2, you'll go to the other one and you can sign in and you can start doing something else. But like, you can actually skip ahead and start creating the user, which is what I'm going to be doing next after we set up the pacman-key. But here on this virtual machine, if I hit Control F2, I end up on my real TTY2 for the actual machine I'm on, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Although I've noticed that when you run this, it's going to take a while. It needs to generate entropy, and it needs stuff to happen from the computer, and so the more you do, actually, it seems like this does this quicker. I've noticed I can just sit here and mash on the keyboard. It looks kind of ridiculous, but it works. I can just sit here, and once I get my terminal back, it's done. So I'm just going to sit here and mash on the keyboard a bunch of times. And believe it or not, this does work. So, but if you would jump to another terminal, you can either fire up links and go to a web browser and hit like G and then enter the URL to the website you want to go to, or you can try to run updates again. There we go, and we've got our terminal back, so we should have the key set up. We are going to pacman-s Arch Linux keyring to download the Arch Linux keyring. Notice this makes it pretty easy. It's going to ask, grab a bunch of keys here, ask if you really want to sign them. Hit yes, 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 yes. Those should be the master keys, I believe. And now from here, we are going to run pacman-key space dash dash populate space Arch Linux. Yes. Alright, and there. Now that's all set up. Now we're going to go back and edit our pacman. Nano. Let's see, / pacman.conf. And now in here, when you get to this PGP signature checking section, we're going to comment out the sig level equals never. And we're going to go up to sig level equals optional trusted only, and we're going to uncomment that one. And then down in the repos that we are using, such as core here, we're going to uncomment the line in the middle, the sig level equals package required, and we're going to uncomment all those middle lines in the repos we use. Core, extra, community, and multi-lib. And then later, like I add a xorg 11.1 one for my proprietary driver and a catalyst repo. I end up doing the same thing for those, but it's kind of irrelevant right now. Control X, Y, and enter. That should be all set now. Now what we're going to do is add a user. We're going to go user add. This is going to be a really long command too. User add space dash m dash g dash m space dash g space users space dash capital G space LP comma, there's going to be no spaces between all these groups, LP comma audio comma video comma optical comma storage comma scanner comma network comma games comma power comma and wheel. Then we're going to go space dash s space / bin / bash for the default shell for this user, then space, then you're going to put in your username. In my case, I'm going to do Rob Graves. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to create the user, and then to set the password for him, I need to type in PASSWD password space Rob Graves, or your username, whatever you're going to do. I should spell it right. That's going to ask for a password for Rob Graves. We'll put that in and then do it again to verify. Alright, and now Rob Graves has a password. And now we need to give Rob Graves root privileges in the sudoers file. So to do that, we're going to run vsudo, but we're going to set it up so it uses nano because it's easier. Type in all caps editor and equals nano, no spaces. Then space vsudo, visudo. Hit enter. Now if you scroll way down in this file, you'll see a section that says root all equals all in parentheses and then all. And then right below that it says uncomment to allow members of the group wheel to execute any command. That line there, we're going to uncomment, so it just says %wheel all equals all. We're going to hit Control X, Y to save it, and then enter. And now we'll do a reboot and sign in as our user. Alright, we're going to sign in as our new user, in my case Rob Graves. Enter Rob Graves' password, and here I am at a prompt for my user. And actually the first time you run any command that requires root privileges, you're going to have to now proceed with sudo, but like sudo pacman dash capital S lowercase yy. First time it does it, it's going to tell you to respect the privacy of others, think before you type, and with great power comes great responsibility, so on and so forth. That's only going to show up the first time. Enter password, then it'll do the resynchronization and what have you. But this is pretty much the end of my second video. We've gotten the internet connection hopefully set up, all the base upgrading and fixing pacman-key and the pacman-conf files, and getting a user added. So I'm going to leave off here and start with a in the next video setting up sound and Xorg and getting a graphical user interface set up. So, till then.